Hi, it's Jessica. I'm here in Bali still. I live here. It's my home for those of you that don't know. I wanted to make a video just with me to share something different, something I haven't really done before. I'm very active on Facebook and I haven't really been able to put out this kind of stuff on YouTube, so I mean, if you're curious about what's going on with me and the kind of things that me and Diego are sharing, not just our content but our personal lives and so forth, I welcome you guys to come to my website and even my Facebook to look at some of the blogs that I'm sharing, because this is about a blog, a private personal blog, because I know a lot of you guys are kind of annoyed and shocked with Diego always being in my videos, and I don't want you guys to understand that I'm doing this for your benefit. I'm doing this to give you an opportunity to think in a whole new way that we haven't thought about before. And Diego has also helped me a lot with that as well, because we all have blind spots. We all are like a car. We have our blind spots and we depend on mirrors, sometimes other people, to help us see things until we're able to see it clearly for ourselves. And that's what the videos that I've been doing lately with Diego are like, something like a gym for the mind, to develop the mind muscles, to think in whole new ways, to see yourself and life in whole new ways. We're very much about sharing, not what to think. I think a lot of people do that. Everywhere is what to think, and it creates this counterfeit version of ourselves. And this is more about how to think. So just keep that in mind. Let's see. I wrote some notes down. Tell me. Keep track. Let's see. Because I just want you guys to understand the problem much better, so that you can see it a mile away, so that you are able to prevent unpleasant surprises and experiences happening in your life. It's about damage prevention, a lot of what I'm doing now, because before it seemed like I was always comforting and counseling people after the damage had been done, whether they did it or it blindsided them from someone else. And so it was good and all, but picking up the pieces and then watching the same thing happen again and again to people, I couldn't do it. I can't keep doing something like that, even if it makes a lot of people happy and it seems uplifting and so forth. It's really not, if I'm not really getting to the root of it. If you are, just put yourself in my shoes. Say you're doing something and you think you're helping a lot of people, and then you find out one day that it's not, and what do? Do you continue doing it and pretend like you didn't find that out because the money is good and you're getting a lot of hits on your videos? How do you live with yourself in that way? I can't. I decided to bite the bullet, be honest about it. I'm surprised that you guys are so attached to the idea of Crystal Child and Star Child, because they're just labels. I mentioned that in my very first video with Project Camelot. That's the first thing I said, was that a Crystal Child is just a label. I'm not comfortable with it. Let's remember that we're not to be attached to it as the end-all be-all, as we are infinite beings. Even when I talked about the story of how we get told at school that if we think differently, if there's something wrong with us, a disability, and we're stupid, and we start to believe that we're stupid, and it's just simply not true. Hello, Margarita. It's Margarita. I'm just making a video. So yeah, it's just simply not true. Well, it is, okay, we can look at it, in some ways it is true, but that a small portion of us, a small portion of us is stupid. Thanks for knocking down everything like a tornado when she comes. It's like a small part of us, but that's not our totality. So I want you guys to always keep that in mind, particularly for someone like me. I don't want you guys to like an idea of me or somebody else's idea of a Crystal Child, because that's not me, and that's not being true to yourselves or even true or respectful to me. And I'm going to do that regardless if it makes you guys feel uncomfortable or not. If it helps you get to the root, it's up to you if you want to trust me or not and Diego with what we're sharing. But I just know that after 2012, people have been really, really struggling more than ever before, as if this kind of hope is constantly being delayed, this shift. Now it's 2013, 2014, 2015. I don't want to wait forever for a shift, and I never suggested we wait forever too. If you watch and listen to my videos very carefully, I'm not about that at all. I was just about imagining the possibilities and being willing to explore that infinite potential, but not possible unless you're able to deal with your own stuff first, our fears, our confusions, and so forth. And that's very important, because otherwise it's very dangerous to activate our Kundalini or I don't know, all these different workshops that are out there that we're thinking we can connect and channel with other beings. It's dangerous if you aren't fully aware of what you're doing and you're confused. It will always draw and attract something that is confused as well. So that's also something very important to consider. Let me see, I kind of went way off topic, which is why I wrote notes to begin with, point form, and yeah, let me see. Yeah, the other thing is I want you to know that in our videos we're going to push you out of your comfort zone, because we want you to see that the unknown is not your enemy but your friend, and that's the purpose of why we're doing that. And I know also what really bothers me about the videos I've been doing with Diego lately is that people think that I'm submissive towards him, that I see him as superior, or that he is more dominant, and that's simply not true. Diego is absolutely not like that. If he was like that, and he himself would not tolerate that at all, and if he was like that, we wouldn't be together. And so I just want you guys to know that when I'm quiet, when he's talking, mainly because when I did my videos, I get it's very challenging to speak on a video in general, to try to keep your train of thought in a certain kind of way, to convey it clearly, fully. Otherwise, you get interrupted very easy and distracted very easy, and you can go off in various different ways. So I'm very aware of that. So when I know that Diego is the same way, so I try not to take away that flow of thought, but also getting used to doing videos with someone else as well who's like that is a bit challenging. And I also feel like you guys know me already, you know my message well, so I thought. And so I just thought, okay, it would be really nice to hear from someone else. I like to hear from someone else, a different perspective, a new way of thinking is complementary. And yeah, so let's see here. This particular blog I'm sharing is something that has helped a lot of people in relationships, and I thought that this would be kind of interesting to share with you guys a kind of personal, intimate detail about my life in Bali with Diego and what it's like to be in a relationship with him, and what I have learned in being in a relationship in general. And I'm so glad with all the letters how many relationships it's helped, and also prepared people for a partner as well. So yes, just a second. Okay, so if he always talks about freedom and no expectations in a relationship, how do you know he can trust him? My mother asked. Freedom to her and to most others in a relationship means free love, screw whoever you want. Especially when I told her we do not believe in marriage, which is some invention, a contract, and often a trap. This worried my mother. She thought, well, how do I know he is serious about you if he does not make a commitment, and how can that guarantee that he can trust Jess to be free to go off with someone else? Pigeon. The pigeon has to share something too at the same time. I think they know I'm filming. Okay. I tried to explain to her because we both are free and have no expectations, it actually makes us want to be closer together. Whereas marriage sometimes indicates just the opposite, which mostly tends to lead to infidelity, as one often feels trapped and suffocated in a marriage. But we even like to go deeper than that. If we are not satisfied with what we have, okay, with our cultivation of our own inner garden, then the need for something new and exciting becomes important. Be it a new car, a new spiritual practice, and yes, even a new partner. Always some noise in Bali. It's not peaceful. Let's see. When I asked Diego about infidelity myself, when I was considering him as a potential partner for me, he said, if I have a car and I'm driving down the road in it and I see another car on the side of the road, what is the purpose to get out of my car and go in that one? It sounds crazy, yet we do it all the time. So what happens exactly when the desire for something new becomes important? If we do not know ourselves, how can we really know our partner? When it seems to us we only know not our partner, but our idea of the partner. The idea of how a relationship should be, and your partner thinks and does the same thing. So then there is your idea of yourself and your partner's idea of himself or themselves. This is where all the fights and confusion comes from. 6 different sides, expectations conflicting with each other. None of them are the truth, meaning our idea of my idea of myself, his idea of himself, and then my idea of love, his idea of love, my idea of him, and his idea of me. That's the 6 different sides that are all conflicting and none of them are true. Just to clarify for you guys to do this with your own relationships. It doesn't even have to be romantic. It could be, I don't know why I said it that way, romantic. It doesn't even have to be with something romantic. It could be with family members too, friends, people we look up to, always these ideas of who we think they are, the idea of who you guys think I am, as opposed to who I really am, if you guys really want to know. Alrighty. It's the same when being a public figure. Oh, I'm just saying the same thing. Okay, one sec. They say they love you, but not the real you. They actually love their idea of you. When you do something to challenge their idea, they suddenly get upset with you, saying you've changed and such. So what can we do about this? First of all, being aware of it helps. It's so dark. Come here, you. First of all, being aware of it helps, and being able to notice a thought you have about your partner or idea of a relationship. Inquire to yourself, is it actually true or something invented? If your partner asks, if you're not sure, asking your partner is a good idea. Take my relationship with Diego, for example. I had so many ideas about a relationship, how it was to go, how it was to be. My examples and role models growing up were actually very good and healthy ones, or so I thought. Yet, when Dad passed away, my mom struggled being on her own. Suddenly she was struggling and suffering with the feelings of loneliness. And this is what is considered romantic and normal to this world. Oh, they love each other so much that they're still holding on to them after death. But in that way, it's kind of like a trap, holding on to the past and the dramas and not letting the loved one move forward and not letting yourself move forward. So my mother was always encouraging Dad, doing everything she could for him. He was her world. This is what I call tending to his flame, where my mother was taking care. My dad has a flame, or everybody has their own flame in front of them, picture like a campfire. And my mother is, for example, putting all of whatever she can find, twigs and paper and so forth, into his flame to feed his flame. That's what I mean by tending to the flame. Tending to the flame also means to give love or the idea of love to your partner. If you tend to their flame, to tend to your flame is to give yourself love. So taking care of your own flame is like giving yourself the love that it needs. And he did the same for her. He tended to her flame. So basically in their relationship, she took care of his flame and he took care of her flame. And this is how we think it's supposed to be. It's so funny, I'm almost like pre-reading sharing what I think I'm clarifying, but then actually I share that right shortly.